What's good, boys? Twitch.tv/KowalziKai. That's not the right link. Anyways, hi, I'm back. I'm done with school for a little bit, so, we're back on the video grind, finally. So I thought, we need something simple to get back into the groove of things, So, last time we ranked games, we ranked all the Switch games for the Switch's anniversary. So I thought this time, Sonic's birthday is coming up in a few weeks. So let's go ahead and rank every single mainline Sonic game. It was trending on Twitter for a while, and even though I had this video planned before it even trended, we're doing it now because I wasn't making videos for a little bit. So, it's time. Let's get into this shit. So, as you can see, we are back here with our epic tier list, bro. We got our normal, you got our normal rankings. We got S+, S, A, B, C, D, and we got the Sonic E. And yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it. So first up, we got Sonic Unleashed. Sonic Unleashed is a great game. I originally played Unleashed because I didn't have, any other consoles. I didn't even know they existed, to be honest. I wasn't on the internet or nothing. So when I saw this in the Big Lots, I was like, oh, that's cool. I bought Sonic Secret Rings and Black Knight first, but eventually we got around to Unleashed, and I adored it. I thought it was awesome. I thought the story was really good. I thought, the gameplay was fire. I thought the environments were amazing, and I really liked the Werehog. Of course, that was Unleashed. Here, we're talking about HD Unleashed, which is, a completely different monster, kind of. But I've gone back, and I've finally played Unleashed. I got 360 and Xbox One and Series X. I've played it on all three of those. And I adore Unleashed HD even more than I adore Unleashed. I think they're both just great games. I genuinely think you cannot go wrong with either of them. Again, environment's amazing. The music, outstanding. The story is one of the best told in any Sonic game. The characters are so good. Chip is awesome. Very fun. Even the Werehog combat is very, very good. People did not give it enough credit for what it was. So for that, I'm gonna put Unleashed in S+, and Unleashed in an A. Sonic 4 Episode 2. That's a bit of a controversial one. It's a follow-up to Sonic 4. Sonic 4 1 was not received very well. People did not. I mean, it was received fine, but people were like, this could be way better. Especially nowadays, people really don't like Sonic 4. But Episode 2, I played this on my tablet when it came out. I thought it was solid. Not even just solid, I really enjoyed it, genuinely. I liked the episode metal. I thought it was very pretty. I thought the environments were pretty interesting. The way that you do the different moves with Tails, I thought was cool and something that, we'd never seen before or really again. I enjoyed it. I really liked it. I don't think it's the best, 2D game out there, but I don't think it's the worst. I think it's pretty solid. I'm gonna put it in B tier. Fuck it. Sonic Rivals. I've been meaning to play Sonic Rivals. I know the games are like whatever, but I haven't played either of them. I don't own a PSP or a PS Vita. I don't even know which one this is on. Sonic 4 Episode 1. Now, this one fares far worse than Episode 2. They learn a lot from Episode 1. While I think gameplay-wise, Episode 1 it's fine. It's basic, but it's fine. I think it's everything else that kills it. The music is very, just, not memorable. Going from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, 3 playable characters, to just being Sonic again is very lame. The way they use the homing attack chains, it really sucks in this one. The art style is fucking disgusting. It looks horrendous. Just a lot of shit comes together to make this one not as good, or not very good at all. And honestly, I don't want to say this is the worst 2D game, because I prefer this game over 1, which will be a controversial take, but the highest I can give this is a C. Triple Trouble, I have not played yet. I still need to. I know that there's that HD, Sonic Mania fan game version of it that I really want to try out. That could be cool. Sonic Rush, I have not finished Sonic Rush, but what I have played of it, I adore Rush. I love Blaze. I love Sonic the soundtrack. Hideki, oh my god. Hideki, please, name my children. Just name my children. I swear to fucking, I won't bother you. If you name my children, I won't bother you another day in your life. I love you so much. The environments are incredible. It genuinely is one of the best 2D Sonic games just in general. There's no other score I can give this than an A. Next up, Sonic 2. It's funny that we're doing these out of order, but fuck it, let's just roll with it. I think the first time that I played it was through an emulator when I was really young. No, I love Sonic 2 for what it was when I played it. I have good memories with it, and now that I can go back, especially with Sonic Origins, I love it even more. Tails is a great addition, the bosses are on fire, the environment's much more varied and focused on the actual levels themselves are way better on focusing on Sonic's speed than doing meticulous platforming, which I love. The special stages are fun too. Everything about Sonic 2 is just Sonic 1, but better, more refined, more focused, and it is so good to play, even now. I don't think it's the best that we got, but I think it's one of the best Sonic games you can play. Sonic 3D Blast, I bought this game. This game is okay. I'll say this about 3D Blast, you can play it. I think it has a charm to it. I think it's cute. That's it. D. All right, I'm moving gens up right now because we're gonna talk about both of them like we did with Unleashed. I watched gens so much when it came out. I think when Generations came out, it was my first time that I was inclined to start using YouTube. And I watched Kobe's playthrough. I watched all the mods. I watched everything about gens. I loved it so much. And then finally, I played it in like 2013 when I found out that there was a 3DS version. And I love the 3DS version. I would say out of all of the Rush games, I think it's like the worst of all of them, but it's not bad by like any means. The levels are different. They're not all the same as the ones used in HD Generations. The gameplay is still really fun. There are, you know, big level moments, different remixes, which is awesome. Different bosses too. You know, like, what is it? The Big Arms boss is only in Generations 3DS, and that boss is really cool in Generations 3DS. And two, the song is fucking incredible, bro. If I lived in a perfect world, Sonic X Shadow Generations would actually bring the 3DS content over to, you know, HD and everything. But the way it is now, I think the 3DS version is very, very, like, solid. But then I finally bought 360, and I finally got to play normal gens. This game defines part of my life, genuinely. Like, oh, it is everything to me, dude. The mods, the community, gameplay, everything about Generations is perfect. It is boost Sonic to, like, at its peakest of peaks, bro. And Classic Sonic was so fun to see back, and all of his new techs and everything. It's so much fun. Everything about gens is just perfect. It's a beautiful looking game. It's a beautiful sounding game. The only area where I think it fails is story. The story is garbage. But, like, it's honestly the way that the story is, it's not offensive or anything. It's basically just insignificant. And so I don't really factor into my score anyways. It is one of the best Sonic experiences you can give yourself. S+. And Gens 3DS, we'll do the same as Unleashed. We'll give it an A. Sonic Adventure, I finally played this when the pandemic came. I played both Adventure 1 and 2, and I genuinely think they were, like, life-changing experiences. But I changed as a Sonic fan. You know, finally getting to play these games for myself, realizing Big isn't so bad. Going through Gamma Story, which is just fucking incredible. Hearing the music for myself, seeing these environments, it is so different to just talking about it on Twitter or hearing about it on YouTube. And so, genuinely, Sonic Adventure is, I think, one of the best Sonic games out there. It tells one of the best Sonic stories that you could hear. And everything about it is so charming, so wonderful, so beautiful. Yeah, it has its flaws, but I think everything that's so good about it makes up for those few flaws in spades. Easy S. Sonic 2 on Game Gear, I know I've played this, but, like, honestly, I don't care to rate it. I don't care to rate any of the Game Gear ones, to be honest. I've only played a few of them. All right. Sonic 1. Everybody's played Sonic 1, like, once in their life. But I finally beat it with Origins coming out. And it's lesser than Sonic 2. Sonic 2, you know, is more focused and everything. Sonic 1 doesn't focus as much on the speed. Originally, no spin dash. The levels are way more meticulous in terms of, like, platforming. And it is just generally just a slower game, which is fine. But it's just not, like, necessarily my cup of tea when it comes to Sonic. Is it a good start? Absolutely. Is it a game that I would go back to? Hell no. I would play, like, Green Hill Zone and then stop playing again. Put in bottom of B. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. All right. It's time. I finally got to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles with Origins. Amazing experience. It is another one where it's like, it's one of the best Sonic games of all time. Not only that, it's like, especially when it came out, it was so revolutionary. The story that it told, the cutscenes that it had, Knuckles coming in, everything about it was just so big, so good, so awesome. The setting, being on Angel Island is great. Seeing the level change as you play through it is fucking crazy sometimes. It's also got its flaws, of course, but not a single flaw is close enough to make me not put an S+, bro. You're crazy. Sonic Blast is the worst Sonic game. It's either Sonic Blast or it's Knuckles Chaotix. I don't know which one it is, but it's one of them. Sonic Rush Adventure, I have not played much of it. I feel really bad this time because I have not played much of it. I really want to get back to it. But from what I have played, I feel like Rush Adventure is, like, on the same level as Rush, you know? Like, it's still really solid. It's still really good. Better than Gens. But there's not much more I can say about it. I should put it in have not played, but I'm going to rate anyways. So Sonic Advance 3. I actually own Sonic Advance 3 physically for some reason. I don't know. I got it at some point. But, what was it? I really love Sonic Advance 3. While I haven't beat it, I haven't beat any of the Advance games. I still really adore all of them. And I think they all reach, like, a similar level of quality, you know? Where it's like, one is a really good start. 2 is, like, better than 1. And 3, I think, falls off a little bit from 2, but it's still pretty good. The amount of character variety in 3 is great. The level variety is awesome. You know, the aesthetics are really good to see. People still ask for, like, levels from Advance to come back. And I mean, that's really all I can really say. I don't think it's as like, I don't think these games like are as crazy as like the classic titles. Like Advance 2 and 3 aren't reaching the heights of Sonic 3 and K. But generally, I think they're still really, really good. And I'll just rate these all together. I think Advance 3 goes in A. Sonic Advance 2 goes in S. Sonic Advance 1 goes in B. Sonic and the Black Knight, dog. I'm so there is no chance in hell you will ever get me to say that Sonic and the Black Knight is a bad game. I genuinely believe with all my heart that Sonic and the Black Knight is a great game. Genuinely, what is wrong with it besides it being like a different concept for Sonic? And that's what the storybook series was to begin with. People were so mean to this game for no reason. As one of the best Sonic stories, as some of the best Sonic moments, it has some of the best Sonic areas, it has some of the best Sonic music. Everything that you do in this game is so cool. You take on dragons, you fight, you know, other knights in the form of Sonic characters. You take down gods, dude. Like, everything is so cool. I think the mission format, you know, brings it down a little bit. It brings it down more so in Secret Rings case. But for Black Knight, no, this game is S. I'm sorry, dude. This is like bottom of S. You cannot tell me that it's not. Secret Rings fares far worse. Its controls are not nearly as good as Black Knight, and its mission format is far worse as well. But for what it is, I think Secret Rings makes up with its good qualities. It has really good music. It has really good aesthetic. It has really good areas. It has a really good story. Its characters are extremely charming. And just like Black Knight, it has very good Sonic moments. And while I would like to rank it higher, I think the highest it goes is like top of C. But I still think it's very, very good. Heroes is okay. It is carried by nostalgia. And yeah, it's just all right. I mean, to be fair, I like Heroes. I think Heroes is a pretty alright game. I can play it sometimes. I love, like, the gameplay style, you know? Putting all three of the characters together playable at the same time and giving them this way to play with each other and communicate with each other is very, very cute. And also carrying over, like, the character interactions from the adventure games and carrying that adventure style and, like, formula to an extent. But it just fails in so many aspects, especially just having to replay the game 4 times. Not a single person wants to fucking do that. I think one playthrough is, like, fine enough, you know? You have a good time with one playthrough. But having to do every single thing over and over and over and over again, it just sucks, dude. But at least the last story does make up for it. The final boss and the ending to the story is very, very strong. Metal Sonic is a great villain. I have no idea how they haven't done it again. And also, just the stories that came out of Heroes were very, very good. And they kind of influenced a lot of what Sonic went through, you know, like, story-wise, for the rest of, like, of that generation. It has good qualities and it has bad qualities. I think it goes fairly in like, C tier. SA2, I don't even think I have to talk about SA2 at this point. I think everybody knows what agenda we're on when we talk about SA2. SA2 is one of the best Sonic games to ever exist of all time, ever. Knuckles Chaotix, yeah, this is in contention for one of the worst Sonic games of all time, I think. Although it does, you know, bring back Mighty and introduces the Chaotix as a group, which most people forget that the Chaotix are even classic characters. Yeah, it is such a rough game. It is not fun. All right, it's time for the Colors talk. Colors was my, what I would consider my first real, like, foray into Sonic. Because while I did play, like, a lot of the classic games on emulators when I was younger, post the divorce arc, I finally got a Wii with my mom, and we finally got Sonic Colors, from Redbox. And I copied the, you know, the disc onto my Wii because we had a friend set that shit up for us. And it is one of my favorite games of all time. I adore Colors. I adore everything about it. It's another one like Jen's where, yeah, the story isn't great, but it's also kind of insignificant. Gameplay-wise, it is more of a puzzle platformer, but that's okay because the wisps are fun. The level aesthetics are amazing. The music is great. Roger Craig Smith gives a good performance as Sonic. That fits the tone of the game that he's in. And while the story is, you know, pretty silly, I think its actual themes are still pretty strong. And, you know, they double down on them well within, like, the story itself. And if you play Colors DS, you get an even better story that's been, you know, more fully fleshed out, more characters are there, and, you know, you can make your own headcanons from there. But I genuinely, I love Colors. I adore Colors. Everything about it is just so happy, so fun. It was a good time for Sonic. It was a good time to be a Sonic fan. It was a good time to get back into Sonic. I finally did play the DS version when I found it existed in, like, 2014. And I thought that was great, too. It's another one where it's like, it's not as good as Sonic Rush. It's not as good as Sonic Rush Adventure, but it's still really fun. The way they incorporate the wisps is cool. The fact that they get 2 original wisps is also very cool. And I appreciate the work that went into it. Sonic Colors itself, I think, goes into S tier. Top of S, maybe right under Adventure. And Sonic Colors TS, I think, is like an easy A. Sonic 06. 06 is overhated. The story is stupid. It's ass. It sucks. But I don't think everything that they did was awful, you know? While it is, you know, a little bug and glitch-ridden, not nearly as bad as what we have to deal with today. And that's not necessarily a great excuse. But going back to it now, it is far more playable for me than games that even come out today. I think Silver is cool. The Shadow story, I think, is pretty solid. And the way that he integrates with Silver and Sonic is very interesting. Sonic's Mach Speed sections were almost like a training ground, like an experiment for boost stages, which is so cool to see sometimes, you know? And the level segs are cool. Kingdom Valley is, like, actually fucking incredible, dude. Genuinely, there are, like, things from this game that have stuck with me that are not negative connotations, you know? There are a lot of positive things that this game has done, especially, like, giving us Otani. I think Sonic 06 should be praised to an extent for what it has given us. And for that, I think it goes in top of D tier. Alright, so Sonic Lost World. It is a weird game. It is not what Sonic should have done after Colors, but it is what it is, you know? It happened. They want to try out something new, and we let them. I don't know where to even start with this, you know? It's an okay experience. The story is far more offensive in this case than Colors and Gens, because it actually tries to have one. But I think what it makes up for is gameplay. I think gameplay is genuinely pretty solid. I don't, like, yeah, sure, it's a little bit generic, but, like, you can still have fun in Lost World. There are still ways to have fun in Lost World. I think the areas, while a bit generic, can be pretty cool at times. I think they're really pretty. I like the cartoon art style. I like, you know, the Super Mario Galaxy, you know, walk around the whole 360 thing. And the parkour system isn't that bad if you can get used to it. But generally, yeah, you know, the Deadly Six suck to an extent. I like Zavik, though. But the Deadly Six suck. The story is ass. The level themes aren't great. It is a very different formula to the Boost formula. But for what it is, I think it's all right. I genuinely think there are worse games that you could play. And so I'm gonna put it in C tier. I'm gonna put it top of C. 3DS version, I'm not really gonna talk about this one. I did beat it finally, after like 17,000 fucking years. It's far worse. It kind of sucks dick, and I don't really care for it. It's going D. Shadow the Hedgehog. I feel the exact same way about Shadow as I do Lost World. I think the story is batshit fucking insane. And while, you know, I consider it canon, I'm always, like, weirded out by it when I have to talk about it. I'm like, this game is fucking weird, bro. But gameplay-wise, it's all right. You know, they tried out different things, and the gun gameplay, don't really care for it, but it's there. It's okay. But the adventure formula is still mostly there, and it's still mostly fun. The differing paths are okay. You know, I don't think you need to play, like, every single path. I think you're better off just, like, playing a few. But for what it is, it's all right. I always pair it up with Lost World because I feel the same way about these two games. I think that these are two games of the same quality. Mania, it's another one where it's just, like, it's such an easy S+, dude. I know we retread levels, but, like, if that's your biggest criticism, you know, please get over yourself. Like, it is so much fun. It's so cool. Sonic Forces, I don't think this is one of the worst games in the series. I think it's another very, like, overhated game. And while I'm not going to come to its defense, let's just talk about the pros and the cons again. Even more offensive story than Lost World in this case. But at the same time, it is nice to see a big, huge cast of Sonic characters in the game again. It's nice to see Silver, Vector, Shadow, everybody there. I would like to play as them, but, you know, we'll take what we can get. The levels, once again, we're retreading levels. And in Force's case, it's less fun because Generations just did this and Mania just did this. In Mania's case, it was cool because it actually did new shit with it. And I would kind of say that for Forces, but it's just like, why wouldn't you just make a new area at this point, man? Why are we just going back to Chemical Plant? At the same time, Chemical Plant has never looked better, genuinely. It looks so cool. The aesthetic there is awesome. It's weird. You know, it's weird. I have mixed feelings on the whole thing. I don't know. I feel so weird about Forces. I used to really, really like it. I used to really genuinely like it. And I still like a lot of parts of it. I like the Phantom Ruby. I like Infinite. Fuck you. I like, you know, the boss fights even. I think the gameplay is pretty generic, but I also think it's inoffensive. And, you know, if you don't like it, just don't play it. But at the same time, it's not a buggy mess, you know? I think the worst that it gets is that the story is offensive. But I don't think it was, like, this big downer moment for the series either. And while it kind of did create all this negativity around the series, through its good performance, it was able to give us enough money to get a game like Frontiers. And through Frontiers, we are now on, like, the up and up with Sonic, and even Sega as a whole. And that is a catalyst of forces existing. Is that a good thing? I don't know. Man, I'm sorry. The forces is like a B. I'm sorry. It's not that bad. All right. Get your pitchforks. I think Sonic CD is kind of dick. I love so much about CD, okay? I love the soundtrack. I love the visuals. I love the setting. I love the story. I love the animation that plays at the beginning. I love Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom. But, like, it fails from a gameplay perspective so bad. The levels are fucking horrendous. I feel like I'm playing a Metroidvania, which I would be cool with if it was meant to be one, but it's not. The level design is atrociously bad. Of course, now if you play the Origins version, it's like a bit better. I'd say it's like a tier above. But you know what? I'm gonna be a fucking asshole, and I'm gonna rate this like it's just the original Sonic CD. This goes right above Secret Rings and C. Sonic R. I don't really have that much to say about Sonic R. I actually like it to an extent. It's cute. It's charming. It's fun. It's got a great soundtrack. I don't even know what the negatives of this game are, honestly. Why do people not like Sonic R? Do people like Sonic? Do we like Sonic R? We got excited for Team Sonic Racing when they just showed the R. I'm putting it in B. I'm sorry. Pocket Adventure, the only Sonic game that has like a 10 out of 10 on IGN. I know it's good. I need to play it, but I haven't gotten to it yet, so I have not played. And now to our 2 latest releases. I know Superstars isn't here. Just pretend Sonic Origins is Superstars, okay? Sonic Superstars, I think is very solid. I think RSS has a lot of potential. I think there's a lot of room to grow, and I think that they should keep working with Sonic. Make another 2D game soon. Is it the greatest 2D classic Sonic game? No, but they gotta build up again, you know? They're just learning. It has great ideas. It's very pretty at times. The Emerald Prowlers, great fucking idea. I adore that shit. I don't know. I can't be mad at Superstars. I really can't. I know people are like, you know, people have been getting more negative about Superstars lately, but whenever I go back to it, I just have a really good time. You know, I can't give Superstars anything other than like an A. I'm putting it like right here. And Frontiers, you already know where this fucking game goes, bro. S+. One of the greatest stories told in a Sonic game, packed with the lore of the series that all comes into play, and I adore that shit so much. You know, you got some of the best boss fights in the series. Actually, no, the best boss fight in this series. You got Super Sonic being given this huge spotlight. You have this new open zone idea, or, you know, type of game where there's just so much fun, and I really, you know, want to see where they go with it. And sure, graphically, it doesn't look that great sometimes, and the popping is fucking horrible. Besides those 2 things, like, this game is great. This game is awesome, and especially with the free DLC and updates, gives the Spin Dash, a new story, new playable characters. It's the full fucking package, dude. Yeah, that's a list. It's not, you know, fully put in order. You know, I'd probably change a few things around, and I'm very happy with it. Again, I'm really happy with where we're at with the series. I'm excited for Sonic X Shadow Generations. I'm excited to see where we go from here. And, you know, we'll be talking about it. This is, you know, this is my place to talk about Sonic. This is my place to play Sonic. So, keep it here. I love you all. I'm back to making videos, so we'll get something out soon. We'll do some highlights. We're doing Persona 3 over on the streams. We did Peach. You know, we'll do Paper Mario soon. So, let's have a good time. It's summer. You know, we're excited. We're happy. We're having fun. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.